Welcome back. Day 4. This is the 4th video I'm uploading. I mentioned on the last one, if you happen to see it. If not, you can go back, check those out. You may get messages through there, although I am just starting, so I'm getting a little more confident learning how to read through the cards. I hadn't worked with cards. I said that I hadn't worked with cards. I have worked with cards. I haven't worked with traditional tarot. A lot of times if I'm doing a read, I'll pull cards straight from this Angels of Abundance or a Saints and Angels cards, just to kind of, again, get the message that you need to hear at the time. If we were doing a personal reading, if I was doing a one-on-one with you, I may pull a card of those, one or two of those if I feel the need, and I may feel the need in one of these, but so I've been focusing on what does everyone need to know. So I said yesterday I was going to focus a little bit more on my meditation in the morning because I started having a lot of visuals yesterday, and I feel like it's opening things back up for me too. I haven't been practicing on a daily basis for a couple months. I mean, I've been trying to, I pull cards in the morning, but I don't get this in depth. So this has been great for just remembering some stuff and learning some new stuff too. So before I get into any of the cards at all, I wanted to just share with you, and I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible, the meditation while I was having my coffee this morning, and I focused, and the question I kind of got a little bit more specific was just, what does the world need to know or hear today? I immediately started getting some clairaudience, and the first thing I heard was nonconformity. The next message that came through was, don't focus on the questions, focus on the messages. Answers are going to come when they are meant to. Trust in divine timing. Shake away negative thoughts and patterns. So, I mean, I literally heard that, and I immediately went to, it's called I believe it's called the waterfall practice exercise Connie had taught us, and I realized I had done this just instinctively my entire life. Anytime I felt like I had been around just bad energy and I needed to kind of like, I'd go outside and just, shake it off, like literally. And if I start to go into a dark place and I'm thinking negative thoughts and a negative thought pops in my head, I literally shake my head and just no, and I don't allow it, and then stop that thought and focus on something else positive. Retraining and rewiring your brain. It's part of the healing process as well. The next thing that came through was just create, like very loudly, create is the answer. What to create is the question. The next thing, I did see a pyramid. To me, that symbol, a pyramid, is a symbol for alignment and balance, body, mind, and soul. So 3 sides. It's very strong, solid, and it will withstand the elements of time and nature. And alignment it goes to spiritual growth and freedom. I got a lot this morning, you guys, so I'm going to kind of just read through these and then I'll get to the cards. Diversity and integrity build the strongest foundations, was the next thing I heard. Strong faith will move insurmountable obstacles. Whatever your faith may be, the foundations of all spirituality is a connection to the divine, God, universe, higher self, whatever you believe in. Core of all religions, be kind. Again, the core that refers to a foundation, the base, the structure in which it's built on. Moral choices, free will, inner knowing, faith equals purpose. And this is how much fun it can be when the spirit starts to come through, because then all of a sudden I heard, bubbles make everything better. So I don't know, it must have been a younger energy that came through, and I have to agree, bubbles really do make everything better. Then I heard the words grounding, center, and heal. And at the moment that I heard those, my right shoulder, and this is funny because I felt bubbles, like releasing bubbles, and it's kind of my symbol for something healing, but tightness in my right shoulder, and it just relaxed and it went down about an inch, and I felt like little bubbles popping inside my shoulder. I don't know if, somebody's been having shoulder issues and needing some healing. But if you ever notice like little bubbles, obviously consult your doctor if something really wonky is going on, and check it out. But bubbles don't seem to, they don't hurt. They're kind of fun. And I feel like it's a cellular change, you feel it happening. The next thing I heard was connection to the elements. Okay, so I immediately saw a compass with north, east, south, and west. And I'm just going to kind of show you here. Hopefully we can see the drawing there. It's chicken scratches. I take notes. I'm usually writing in the dark because I'm sitting in candlelight. I get up very early, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. It's usually dark, have my coffee. And I'm just not ready for the lights to be on yet. But I thought this was interesting. I just kind of, as I was kind of scratching, I'm like, north, east, south. Okay, so wind, you can use the N there. I love word games and crosswords and, well, not so much crosswords, but word finds. Word puzzles. And then east, earth. S, I was like, well, fires. It could be more than one. It's just for me, I feel like it was giving me an association, but it also brought me to kind of like looking at the letters. And I wrote down northeast, southwest, and then I filled them in here and just kind of started doodling. My notebooks in college and high school looked a lot like this, a lot of doodles. And what I found interesting here, back to the question that I had asked, what does the world need to know? The two words that stood out to me when I was looking at those 4 letters, northeast, south, and west, and wind, earth, fire, and water, seeing the elements and the directionals combined, was sown. So if you can see that, S-E-W-N, and news. I actually saw news first. I don't know why I wrote it that way, but the next thing I heard was shut out the external noise. And then I found it interesting because then the next things I saw were so new. So news, sown, so new. Listen to your instinct was the message I got on that. Connect to nature. Get rooted. Growing roots. Morning prayers. I'm telling you, like, I got a lot of stuff this morning. Morning prayers. Look at the rising sun. Taking in the God energy and sending your prayers to the sky. So when you're, morning time, good time to just be like, hey, pray for what you'll need for the day, and that is the way to kind of, for me anyway, to start my day on a positive note is to focus on the good things and just kind of take in the sunshine as it comes up. I love sitting in the dark and watching the sun come up. It's just amazing. The other thing that came through was to face the sunset to receive your blessings. So pray to the sunrise and sit and enjoy the blessings at sunset. Reflect in the evenings. Focus on five moments throughout the day that made you laugh or smile. Remember the feelings you had and relive those moments in your mind. Feel the joy and smile. Interesting. I just read a thing recently on smiling, and that your brain doesn't recognize a fake smile from a real smile. So when you force yourself, and it was something about, when you wake up in the morning, first thing you do is just, before you even get out of bed, smile. Just force yourself to smile, even if you're not happy, because it's immediately releasing endorphins and serotonin and things that are our happy hormones. So I got all of that this morning. during meditation, it was a lot of clairaudient. It was definitely coming through angels and guides. Connie had explained to, and it made sense to me, like the bits and pieces when I get puzzle pieces, like blips, that's usually somebody coming through from the other side, and you'll get portions of what they're saying, and so sometimes you gotta keep trying to work on it. You might see a J, and then you might hear a James or a John or a Jack, but sometimes you don't get the full name, and they're trying and to get through. And when you're open up like this, there's so many of them trying to come through, at different times. And again, back to, I'm just amazed at Connie doing group readings the way she does, because I'm sure it's it's great. I've gone to them. They're wonderful. The energy is very high. It's great. But highly recommend it if you have not gone. Try to get to one of her shows. So before I get into reading the cards here, and what I pulled for the same question this morning, after I did my meditation, I kind of sat there and I was just free writing and thought I'd share this with you. It's just kind of I guess it would be considered a haiku. As I sit here in the dark, thoughts beginning to wander. In, then out, then in again, and gone. Flashes, moments of frozen time, appear in my mind's eye. I have not changed who I am, yet the version of me you may have known no longer exists. There is only light to be sought, darkness shall fall into the depths of time. Like oceans, waves, crashing into shore, let it cleanse your heart once more. I used to write a lot. Not super refined, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then the next thing that came to me was peace and love, heal the soul. So yes, I am a true hippie gypsy, because I do believe in that. And giving to yourself. A lot of this is self-care too, just taking care of yourself. So with all that, I'm going to dive right into the cards today. So we started out with the Ace of Spades was the first card that I drew. Ace of Spades, which also is the swords in the traditional tarot. Aquarius, Virgo, and Gemini are related to the swords. This is an internal energy card. Representation of air and winter, intellect, thoughts, clarity, new ideas, conflict, and blocks. The chakras associated to this are your third eye, throat, and pineal gland, which I believe we talked about. Yes. Oh, no. We didn't, because I've got it up here. I've got more to tell you. So there was quite a bit with this. Now the rest it started to come together just with all the information I got from this card here, that I was just kind of listening and to my guides and what do I need to know and what am I supposed to look at in each one. An ace always represents new beginnings, creation, and opportunity. So ace of anything, it's a fresh start, it's a new beginning. So that's a huge thing there. Now I'm going to get into, I'm not going to go over the chakras of every single one, but the ones that I haven't gone over yet for my own learning purposes and such, I'm going to explain a little bit. So the third eye and the throat, as well as the pineal gland. Now I'll go over the throat another day because I did not go over the color of that, but I did focus on the third eye. So whether it's me, whether it's somebody that, is watching this later that needs to work on healing that or focusing on that. So your third eye is the sixth energy center, located in the center of your forehead, right between your brows. It is your intuition, inner wisdom, imagination, and perception beyond physical sight. It governs mental clarity, spiritual insight, and ability to see the bigger picture. And then the Ace of Swords specifically, as a card as a whole, is clarity, breakthrough, new ideas, and challenging start. So there may have been some bumps, kind of in the kickoff area, but moving forward. Again, my notes are kind of broken up, so I'm studying as well as teaching, I guess. The third eye is also the gateway to higher consciousness. It controls memory, visualization, dreams, and the ability to distinguish reality from illusion. If it's balanced, you have strong intuition, mental clarity, self-awareness, and a sense of being in the flow. If it's imbalanced, you could be experiencing confusion, overthinking, feeling lost, headaches, and having poor judgment, making bad decisions. Some tips to heal that, to heal your third eye if there's any blockages or needs any healing, and because your third eye is also related to your eyes, ears, brains, and endocrine systems, so which is your pituitary and pineal gland, and that regulates sleep. So this is about resting too, and making sure that you're getting proper rest and enough sleep so that your mind can be clear and open. Excuse me. So some of the tips for healing your third eye are doing Om meditations. The typical one that everybody Om. But if you actually sit and do that, it's pretty powerful. And it was interesting today because I got led to stones, and I am a rock hound from way back. These are some. I usually always have my little box of crystals next to me when I'm doing that, but I love gems and stones and crystals. If you're interested in that and you want to open up your third eye, some of the stones that are recommended are amethyst or lapis lazuli. Really good for third eye clearing. The color associated to your third eye is indigo. So I have a background in fine arts, and I had taken numerous color and light classes as well as color psychology for interior design and decorating. Psychology of indigo, the color psychology, is intuition, wisdom, deep consciousness, the calming, stabilizing of the blue combined with kinetic energy and structure of violet. So that kind of gives you an idea of how vibrant. It's a beautiful, beautiful color. It represents the higher mind, intuition, perception, introspection, self-awareness, structure and integrity, responsibility, order, trustworthiness, sense of reliability. And we're still here. We're still on the ace. We're just kind of veering off into what that represents. Spirituality and calm promotes a serene, meditative state, wisdom, truth, and dedication. If you're out of balance, feeling of being criticized, judgmental, or overly traditional. This is the best part, because I know I brought this up about opening up the right. Connects imagination to the unknown. So I feel like this is saying, with knowing that use the crazy ideas that you got going and go for it. I just got go for it again. I got that yesterday. I've had twos. There's been a lot of duplications here, and I feel like this is definitely some messages trying to get through. So with the ace, new beginning, but it's going to come with wisdom. It's going to be a calm. It's going to have a little bump in the middle, at the beginning there, a little hard start, but use your creative thoughts and ideas. And the next card that's going to lead me to the next card, and two, I'm now learning, is about partnership. So soulmate relationships and trust. This could be a romantic, it could be friendship, it could be business, but partnership. So partnering up. Yesterday was partnering up with like 2 or 3 people. Day before I believe it was the 2 of diamonds as well. So definitely something about working together, working with others. something I've had to learn how to do recently. Okay, so diamonds are also wands in the traditional tarot. They are a fire spring sign, represent passion, creativity, inspiration, movement, and action, business, and career. It is associated to the solar plexus and sacral chakras. And the most I'm going to get into that, because I went over the solar plexus and the sacral yesterday a little bit, and I don't want to get too far into it, but just to kind of touch on it and know what to focus on. So your solar plexus would be yellow, and your sacral chakra is orange. So if you need to send some loving energy to those and get those in balance, visualize yellow light filling your belly up right above your navel. And orange would be just below your navel. So I did do the color psychology on that as well, but I kind of want to go back to, because I referred to the diamonds or the wands. Diamonds are wands, spring passion. The number 2 is partnerships, but the specific 2 of wands or diamonds means planning, decisions, partnering. So here we go again. So I'm just thinking this new adventure might be partnering up with younger male energy here that is very enthusiastic. This is another card here that could be a brother, nephew, friend, son. Adventure, impulsiveness, passion, and movement. I feel like this partnership here, you and this younger energy are possibly going to encourage. I mean, I think this is going to inspire, and it's a very positive partnership. But going back a little bit here, we're going to focus on, just in case anybody needs some healing, and just going over the color psychology, because these, when I talk about color psychology, there is something about, and everybody's affected differently. Not everybody has the same, responses to colors, but there is a pretty good overall explanation of it. Yellow is positivity, joy, warmth, curiosity, clarity, happiness, and fun. I mean, yeah, that totally describes yellow to me. Orange is pleasure, emotion, optimism, freedom, enthusiasm, original, and youth. So the youth came up again here with a youthful presence coming here. So I feel like this is really a good thing, and take the jump. The partnership's looking good. So that brings us to the overall card. And for as a whole, I know I asked that question during my meditation, and I did pull the cards during my meditation, and then I kind of did some research after throughout the day, taking breaks. And what was I just gonna say? Oh my goodness! But as an overall, working together, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. To go along with the actual question, what does the world need to hear? We need to work together. We need to learn to maybe accept some of our youth and some of their wisdom. And I know I sometimes joke around and say, God, I wish I had a teenager, because then I could understand and have somebody help me learn the technology, because it's just going so fast I can't keep up. I was really good for a while there. I thought, all right, I'm on point. I can keep up. I know what's going on with kids. And nope. Not now. It goes too fast, too much. There's too many things out there. Too many choices for me. So, okay, on to the last card here. So, new beginnings, partnering up, younger energy coming in. And this, the 9 of Hearts or Cups, represents contentment, satisfaction, and wishes fulfilled. So this here, wishes fulfilled, start. Find the support group, find some people to work with, find somebody with some energetic youth and has that go-get-em attitude. The number 9 itself represents duality, happy versus sad, content versus anxious. Hearts or cups represent water, summer, emotions, emotional experience, matters of the heart, related to the heart chakra. Went over the heart chakra before, I believe, but I just kind of jumped right back into the color psychology. So color psych on green is nature, luck, health, safety, prosperity, harmony, and loyalty. So those are things to look for. Colors can really have an effect, hence color psychology, on your psyche. So, if you're in a room and you're not, you need calming, what color, close your eyes and picture that color. I mean, you don't even have to be there, but it does have a huge effect on the psyche. Reds can be very, they can create anger. It's fiery. There's either passion or anger that's involved with reds, and they can be off-putting. I am bumping my words again, so I feel like somebody's trying to come through, and no offense to you guys, I'm not sure that I'm ready to start spewing out stuff here. But yeah, that was kind of a long one. I thought that my meditation this morning gave me a lot clairaudiently. I thought that was very cool. Had a couple visuals. Don't know if it still has anything to do. I still don't know what the black box over Michigan was. Yeah, from yesterday's reading. But it's got to be. I mean, sometimes symbols come. Like the pyramid, I've seen it more than once, and every time I've seen it, I've now associated that is my symbol. Pyramid might mean something completely different to you. And whatever that pyramid means to you, then that is the message that you need to, get. Who it reminds you of or what it reminds you of, that's the message that you're supposed to be receiving. I'm just supposed to say pyramid, and you're supposed to remember. That's kind of how it works. That's how they kind of play off of that. They try to find links. A friend of mine from Connie's class actually just sent a message here this afternoon saying, she had been asked to do a reading and with somebody she knew, and she's like, I'm not ready, and it's just, and she was trying to explain it to him. She goes, it's like a green ball. And sure enough, they're like, you got to be kidding me. You did not just say that. So I mentioned that about the purple parrot, I think, in the very first video that I did. Random things will come out, and it is spirit connecting, and it's trying to get those messages through. Like, she didn't know what a green ball meant. She was just trying to make a reference to how things work when talking to spirit and mediumship. So I'm hoping that, just doing this, one, I'm going to learn a little bit. Anybody that's had a fear of talking to, a medium, an intuitive, or getting a reading, and if it's against your beliefs, and that's, hey, free will. It's everybody's choice. It has been very helpful for me, speaking to numerous mediums over the years. I've also spoke to numerous psychologists and therapists and counselors, so I have a fascination for psychology and then a love of art, so I feel like this is really kind of all coming together here, and it's inspiring me. I'm still got some drawings I'm working on. So anyway, hopefully that gives you a little something to think about today, and I don't know whether it's entertainment, but I look at this like when I've been focusing on the chakras because I feel like the more people can balance their own energies, and if you understand what they are and what they do and what they're for and how to do it, like, that's huge. How to clear your chakras. If you don't know what a chakra is, how are you going to clear it? So just giving you little tips and techniques, and if you're interested in this, there's plenty of other platforms that can really get into depth with it, and meditations and yoga. You'll learn about your chakras. So wish you all a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.